What's going on, everybody? Trev Wilson here. Welcome back to the Bourbon Ranch. Today, got another bourbon battle. This time, we're going to be covering 4 bourbons that are all 10 years old. So I picked 4 bourbons that are all 10 years old, varying price ranges, okay? We're going from budget, so around $30, to the most expensive bottle in this list. I bought for $130. I've seen the price. I am pretty sure it has gone up even more retail, okay? So the retail of it's probably around $160 at this point or so. I'm not entirely sure, but we're covering a wide range of prices, varying proof, so it's gonna be interesting to see how some of these more budget-friendly, easier to find bottles are, and compare them to bottles that are much more expensive and much harder to find. Again, they're all 10 years old, so let's get into it. How we're gonna do this, we're not doing them blind. Again, we're gonna try this to where we're gonna just drink one, talk about it, and move on directly to the next one, and just be side-by-siding them as we go, seeing how they're the same, seeing how they're different, look at the prices of each of them, we're gonna talk about them, and at the end I will give a loose ranking of an order of what I think my favorite is, talk about why it's my favorite, whatever. So let's just get right into it. First one we're gonna be talking about, Eagle Rare, 10 years old. This one's a little bit harder to find. In fact, you can't really get it around me. There's other places I've seen this. You go in the store and it's friggin' everywhere. They take all of it. You guys are mooching it from the rest of us. Eagle Rare, when I can get this, it's around $31 to $35. Comes in 90 proof, not too shabby. Let's get into it. Eagle Rare, on the nose. Buffalo Trace Cherry really shines through. A lot of sweetness, but a little bit of oak. So it's like regular Buffalo Trace, but a little bit oakier, okay? Which I like that. I like that it kind of cuts back on some of that cherry sweetness that I tend to get on a lot of Buffalo Trace products. On the palate, still a lot of cherry on the palate. It's unmistakably Buffalo Trace, okay? It carries those, you know, that DNA, that base, this is Buffalo Trace, really shines through. But again, being aged 10 years, it's a little bit oakier, a little more going on. It kind of takes you into that other older path, so a lot more vanilla going on too. Not a terribly long finish at all. It's kind of lacking in that aspect, but the flavors that it does present, I think are really good. Again, the only issue with this bottle is that you can't really get it around here. I know some people don't get it at all. I've seen places where this is marked up. This bottle is marked up, so, you know, this really depends on where you're at. I think this is a really good bottle if you can get it for retail. Do not overpay for this bottle, ever. Just don't do it. But if you can get it around $30, $35, I think it's really good. Don't overpay. Next up on the list, around the same price, the same proof, a direct competitor to Eagle Rare, Russell's Reserve 10 year. I mean, seriously, it's the same proof, it's around the same price. I get this around $34. I've seen it even cheaper. I've seen it under $30. And this is on the shelf almost every single time I go into the store. 10 years old, out of Wild Turkey, on the shelf. Can't beat it. Russell's Reserve, 10 year, on the nose. This smells drastically more complex than the Eagle Rare did, to me. You're getting a lot more of the oak, but it's not bitter oak by any means, but it is there, and you can definitely tell. I would say if you don't like oak, like you're just an oak hater, then, you know, maybe this might not be for you, because it is there, and you can tell. If you don't know what oak tastes like, you don't know what that is, try this one. For sure, try it. It's gonna show you what happens to bourbon when it starts reaching 10, 12 years old. It starts getting a little bit of that oakiness, but with the good oakiness comes more vanilla. A lot of those wood sugars do make it into the whiskey, and you do. It's still super sweet. On the palate, oh dude, this is so freaking good. People sleep on this bottle, and you're missing out. Again, a lot of oak. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of oak. I just so happen to like the level of oak that this offers. It's like the perfect level of oakiness. But something else I'm getting that's really good is a very strong presence of cinnamon spice or something. It's almost like you're in a bakery during Christmas and they're baking stuff in there and it's just going right up in your face. Something else, you're getting that quintessential turkey funk. So if you're familiar with wild turkey, especially some of the older wild turkeys like the 17 bottled and bonded stuff, it has this, what people call a funkiness, almost like a dusty-like quality to it, and you're getting it on this, and I love it. I am a sucker for that. So this is really good. I think this is just in a totally different ballpark than like Wild Turkey 101. If you've had the 101, you get a little more, almost like a graininess on that one, a corn. You're getting like corniness on it, whereas on this, you don't get any of that. So if you're someone who says, oh, I've tried Wild Turkey 101, I didn't like it, this is different. So don't sleep on this bottle. Give it a shot, see what you think of it. I think this is a banger. This is so good. It's pretty dang complex. I think just side-by-siding this Russell's to the Eagle Rare just right here, I think it has much more going on for around the same price and much easier to get. So it's a no-brainer for me. I would definitely choose the Russell's over the Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare is still really good, but you know, just side-by-siding them, I just would gravitate towards this flavor profile much more. All right, let's move on. Third bottle, Henry McKenna, bottled in bond, 10 years. So this won an award way back when, and then it disappeared. It shows up, it comes and goes. So depending on your market, you might have just stopped seeing this altogether. Around me, it will show up. Once it's gone for several months, and then it shows back up. So I think this was another bottle that people just kind of slept on. They kind of just passed it by, and you know, once they see that it won an award, they're like, oh, I have to have it. Whatever, it is really good. It is a single barrel though. This one is a single barrel, so your single barrel could taste drastically different from mine, okay? Just remember that. I also say that because my first bottle of Henry McKenna was friggin' terrible. It was so bad, it turned me away from Henry McKenna. I didn't buy another one for several years. Bought this bottle. This barrel is just drastically better than the first one. So that is the unfortunate thing with single barrels, is that you could get a bad one and it just gives you the wrong impression. Just a gamble you're gonna have to take. If the price allows it and you're willing to take that gamble, I would say do it. Henry McKenna, on the nose. Again, this one's more in line with the Russell's. Okay, so the Eagle Rare, tons of cherry, not as much oak. It is there, but this McKenna is like a burnt toasted oak. Tons of those baking spices shining through. A little bit of nuttiness, not an off-putting type of nuttiness, but it's like roasted pecans or something, okay? Dare I say pecan pie on the palate? So that nuttiness definitely shines through on the palate. Still a lot of the oakiness. The caramels and vanillas are elevated for sure. I would say, just on a whim, first taste through, I would still probably pick the Russell's over it, just because for one, it's a little bit easier for me to get that one, but two, I'm liking the cinnamon funkiness kind of that I was getting on the Russell's. I would definitely say the McKenna so far is still better than the Eagle Rare. I feel like it's just giving you a little more depth of flavor. I think you're getting more than just sweetness. You're getting a lot more of the barrel influence. While I do get some of that barrel influence on the Eagle Rare, again, it's just not to the level of barrel influence that I was getting on the Russell's or the McKenna. So if I'm drinking a 10-year-old product, that's kind of what I'm looking for. All right, that leaves us one bottle. And I wanted to throw this bottle in here just to see how it compares with much cheaper and much easier to get bottles. Michters single barrel 10-year-old bourbon. Comes in 94.4 proof. When I got this bottle, it cost me $120. I had to win it in a raffle. Since then, I believe the retail price has gone up even further. So even more than what I paid for it. So I'm just gonna keep in mind the price that I paid for it, and then we'll talk about the increase in price when we go in to drink it. So another thing to remember, this is another single barrel, so again, your single barrel could taste better or worse than mine. So take everything I say with a grain of salt when it comes to these two barrels, okay? These two bottles. Michters 10-year-old bourbon. So a little bit lighter on the nose. In fact, I'm gonna side by side the Russells and the McKenna to this one, because again, it's a little more towards their flavor profiles than it is the Eagle Rare. The Eagle Rare has been the super sweet one out of the lot. It's kind of its own unique thing. So Michters compared to the Russells. Honestly, the Michters, when I side by sided it to the Russells, they're pretty similar, but the Russells seems like it's just turned up more, like it's more is going on, more intense versions of the flavors. So the Michters just seems muted compared to that one. So that's kind of scary. Let's go to the McKenna. Same ballpark as the McKenna. You're getting toasted oak. I think the Michters is a little more delicate, so I think it's something that you would have to sit down with and really spend time with much more than these other two. The Russells and the McKenna just kind of jump out of your glass. This, at least my bottle of Michters, you know, it's pretty delicate, so you have to really sit there and kind of dig out the flavors to see what it has to offer. I would probably say, though, I liked the Michters better than the McKenna's nose, and I liked the Russell's nose the best. The one thing that I'm getting from this bottle that I really, really like is like a toasted marshmallow. Stuck it in the fire, it starts catching on fire a little bit, bam, marshmallow. Absolutely love that. And I always got it on this one, and it's something that just really stuck out to me. Michters 10 on the palate. A little bit oakier. It is a little bit oakier than these other ones. My issue is that it doesn't seem like it's offering me that much more depth, if any more depth, than even the Russells. So it is really good. It's oaky, you're getting nice levels of spice, but it is a little bit softer. It's a little bit more muted, and again, could be my barrel. This Russells is only $30 and this was $130. Is this bottle 4 times as good as the Russells to be worth that price? I don't think so. Which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, but dang, you don't have to be expensive to be good, and these other bottles kind of prove that. I'm gonna side by side these. I'm really interested. I wanna know how this Michters compares to this Russells, because you can go get this Russells any day of the friggin' week. Russells, cinnamon spicy oakiness, really good. And the Michters, side by siding them, I will say the Michters seems a little more clean around the edges, if that makes sense. The Russells, I wouldn't say that you can tell it tastes cheap, but it is a little bit jaggedy, but the flavors really do jump out at you, and what is there is really good. So I would say the Michters is a bit prettier, okay? In a sense, I can tell it might be a little higher end of a product. 4 times as much, I don't know. I kind of struggle seeing that much price into this, especially when you compare it to, you know, the McKenna that I can get for around 45, the Russells, which is 30 to 35, and then the Eagle Rare, 30 to 35. You know, they're all 10 years old, and they do offer really good things. You know, so the Michters, man, I don't know. I kind of struggle, and again, it could be my barrel. It could have just been a turned down barrel, but if all of them tasted like this, I would not buy another one for $120, if that tells you anything. Sorry. I would say my order would probably go Russells. Russells 10, number 1. It's just, I love it. Turkey funkiness, cinnamon spice, oakiness, it kind of all goes together. It jumps out of the glass really good. Then, honestly, you know, as much as I wanted to dog it, The Michters 10 would probably be second. My issue is the price. I mean, again, I'm putting it second, but I still probably would not buy another one of these for that price. It's not that much better than the McKenna 10. I mean, seriously, it's not. So I almost wanted to put it below the McKenna 10 just for that reason, but I have the bottle, and what is in there is pretty good, but still, man, 120, 130, up to 150, 160, whatever retail price now is, I don't know, probably wouldn't do it, to be honest. And then, so, Henry McKenna, third, really good, very intense. And then the Eagle Rare, I'm putting it last just because the other ones seem a little more complex, a little deeper, a little more barrel influence in it, and I love that. So, still, the Eagle Rare is really good, though. I mean, it's just classic Buffalo Trace. It's good stuff, 10 years, and if you can find it, around $30. So there we have it. There's the battle of the 10-year-old bourbons. Let me know down below what you think of these four, especially the Michters 10. That seems to be the polarizing bottle. So let me know what you think of that bottle. If you have one, would you buy another one for retail price? What do you think of the bottle that you have? And what do you think of your Michters 10 compared to other 10-year-old products? Leave a comment below, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Be sure check out all the links in the description. We have discount codes, we have merch of our own, we have a Patreon page for exclusive content and exclusive merch, so check that out. The link will explain everything that you would be getting. I thank all of you for your support, guys. I absolutely love you. Until next time, I'm Trev Wilson. I will see you in the next video.